everyone, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to my regular viewers, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. So today this is a follow-on video from my swatch video earlier today, and I said I was doing an edge set for you guys. So I'm only showing two of the nails being done, basically because they do take so long to do, and as you know, I don't like to keep the videos too long for you guys. So I'm showing you how I would sculpt them out and how I would file them. So starting out to do these nails, I took my nail form. I have brought my ASP ones out of retirement just for this video, and I fold them along the center line and really like, oh flip, how is like really fold along that line, and I go along with the edge of my dusting brush just to make sure that it is super sharp and that the spine is perfect. So when I'm placing the form onto the nail, I'm making sure that the spine stays really sharp and that I haven't fully closed the tabs of the form right underneath. I like to keep it a little bit open so that when you look down the barrel of the nail, you can see the V shape perfectly. So the acrylic I'm using today, it's one of my new ones that was in my previous video there, and it's Cashmere cover. So it's a really lovely one to use, and you know, I think it's perfect for sculpting because it just seems that little bit different to some of the other ones. I find that it cures an awful lot quicker, so for sculpting that's what you need. You need something that's going to cure quite quickly. So I'm starting out by I put the acrylic on to make contact between the form and the natural nail, and then I'm working on, at the minute you can see, I'm just building that spine up and I'm just making sure that it's coming out nice and straight, and then I will build up the sides of the nail with the rest of the cashmere just to make sure the strength and durability is there. There are some certain nail suppliers out there that do sell edge tips, but I personally prefer to sculpt them. I think you get a far better shape whenever you sculpt them. But you know, if sculpting isn't one of your favourite things to do, then by all means the tips would be perfect for you then. The edge nails, they're a very strong nail because of the spine, and they're very easy to wear. Personally though, if I was going to be wearing them, I maybe wouldn't have the point as, you know, as pointy as I do in this video. As you can see, once I have got the sort of general shape of the edge nail, I'm just going in now and adding acrylic just so that it's nice and strong, nice and symmetrical, and then we'll finish up by filing. Moving on to the second nail I'm going to sculpt out, so you can see me placing the form on, and I make sure that the front of that form hasn't completely closed, and you can see that it is going slightly upwards. But even though we've got that spine, you want to make sure that that spine is right in the center of your nail, and that way you know that your nail will be nice and straight. And again, the first bead of acrylic is the one that's just going to make contact between the form and the natural nail. But you can see how easy this cashmere cover just spreads down the nail. I absolutely love it. Some of the other core powders just aren't as good as this, but this is fantastic. From the side view of that nail, you can see that I'm coming out nice and straight in line with the natural nail. So the lower arch is nice and straight. The way it would be whenever I'm doing my filing of the nails, I always like to make sure that the lower arch comes out nice and straight. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do as much work with my brush as I can, because that's going to cut down the filing once it's all cured. And every bead of acrylic that I place on, I'm always aware of the spine of this nail, so I'm always pressing it into place so that we keep it nice and crisp. When we're doing our cuticle bead, we want to have it nice and flush as normal as we normally would, but we want to blend it up into that spine. Now, I finish my edge nails a little bit different than some of the others out there, and when we come to file the nails, I'll explain exactly what that difference would be. Now that it's all cured and ready to file, I'm just going to remove the nail form. First, I need to take the sellotape away. Sorry. And then I'm going to slide my thumb just slightly in under the acrylic to release the nail form. And as normal, I always start at the side walls, and the edge nails are no different. You want to make sure that your side walls are nice and straight, and that lower arch that follows out from where the natural nail would start, you want to make sure that that's nice and straight. When you're doing the free edge of your edge nail, you want to hold your file at a 45-degree angle, and that way you're going to keep the slant at the free edge. So also whenever you're filing the main body of the nail, you want to make sure that your file is kept completely flat, and try and file in an upward motion like we would when we're filing towards our apex. But you want to make sure that you do not file over the spine. You're always filing up to that spine completely flat, and that's what's going to give you that really, really crisp edge. If you find that the spine area itself has some little dips in it, I would go over that very, very lightly just to completely level it out, and then go back to doing the filing from the side walls right up with the file completely flat, so that we can get the really, really sharp spine back in. So when it comes to filing the cuticle area of your edge nails, a lot of other nail technicians out there will just do it normally as you would if you were filing the cuticle area. So you're doing it nice and flush, and you're keeping it sort of nice and rounded. For me, the difference that I do with my edge nails is I continue the spine right down more or less to the cuticle, and then I take my file from the cuticle to the spine, and I lay it really flat, and it almost gives you that triangle shape just at the base of that spine. So for me, this is what I prefer. I like to keep the angles within the nail rather than do it all flush. Onto the pointer finger, and this is just basically the same. You can see I'm sliding my thumb underneath the acrylic there to release the form. And again, I'm doing my normal filing routine. I'm starting at the side walls, I'm making sure it's nice and straight, I'm making sure my lower arch is nice and straight, and I just continue to file the way I did on the previous nail. So I'm just going to let you go ahead and watch the filing and shaping of this nail, and I'll come back. You can see here I'm just showing you that it's actually coming out level with the natural nail. So you don't want your forms to point downwards or anything. You want it to actually point slightly up whenever you're doing these nails. And you can see here I'm showing you just how flat your file would be against the nail whenever you're filing it. If you don't have it flat, you're not going to get that sharp spine, so it is important that you really do keep it flat. Okay, so now all the filing and buffing has been done, and I'm just giving them a quick wipe over with some alcohol. You can see the little triangle at the cuticle that I've created. I just think for me personally it just sets the nails off. When it comes to the decoration of these nails, I think sometimes less is more. So I'm not going to be doing too much because I don't want to draw away from the fact that they are edge nails. So I'm going in with my Model Ones number 10, which is that beautiful purple, and I'm just going to be creating very similar to like a French, where you would put your French white. I'm just going to in with this purple. The edge shaped nails when you're doing a French is so easy because you've got those flat sides. It's the simplest French you would ever do. So because I like to keep the length of the video down, I'm going to go ahead and cure this one, put the second coat on and cure that, and then come back in, and now we're doing this gold. So on the ring finger, just to sort of be a bit different, instead of doing the purple on them all, I'm going in with the gold just for change, and then I will outline that gold in the purple. So on the rest of the nails with the purple tips, I'm taking that gold and I'm just outlining the whole edge of those and down the spine with the gold. Then back to the ring finger, I'm back with the purple, and so the ring finger is basically the opposite of the rest of the fingers. So where I have went in with the gold, on the other fingers I have put the gold as the French on the ring finger, and vice versa with the purple. Then just to continue on with the ring finger, just making it that little bit different from the rest of them, I'm going in with the purple and I'm actually lining right down the spine of the nail, and then I'm also going to outline that little triangle at the cuticle. For the main body of the nail, I'm going in with my matte non-white top coat, and before it's cured, this is what I'm going to use to set any of the gems into, and then I'll cure it all together. So because I've made that little triangle area at the cuticle, and the fact that it's flat, the rhinestones just sit on this perfectly. So I'm not going to be putting on too many. I think the nails sort of speak for themselves, so I'm literally just putting on 3 different sizes just in that little triangle area. So on the free edge of the nails, I've decided to go in with the Glitterbels non-white top coat just to have the free edge glossy. I think it just sort of adds to the nails a little bit more. So here's the finished set, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you could do that now. And I'll see you all in the next video, so take care, see you soon, bye.